today to celebrate a friend, to recognize someone that has given so much of themselves for a number of years, not just to the city of Gary, but specifically to the Gary Community School Corporation, and especially Westside Theater Guild.
This is all a host of emotions, myriad of ideas and memories in this beautiful facility. It's been transformative, and I'm grateful. So may this auditorium continue to be a place where creativity is born, where voices are heard, where the light of inspiration never dims. And as is written in Matthew 5:6, let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. I thank you all for this extraordinary honor. May God bless you.
Did you know the City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Yeah, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste a Tip?
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.
This is a very special day for the city of Gary to have this opportunity. Gary is a historic city, and it's truly a unique opportunity for us to be here. Almost 70 years ago, on April 22nd, 1959, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was here to accept the key to the city from then Mayor George Chacheras. Today, as mayor, I'm excited to welcome his daughter, Dr. Bernice King, to our city. She is a global thought leader, a peace advocate, and the CEO of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolence Social Change, the King Center, which was founded by her mother and is a legacy to her late father.
And nonviolence is first transformative for the self, so for all those who ever told you, or if you believe that it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, it means that you didn't allow it to work on you first. As you change, you begin to become infectious. I think that's what happened in the movement that my father led and why he was effective in very challenging and difficult times. He immersed himself in nonviolence, not just something that he picked up as a tactic to be utilized in various campaigns and demonstrations, but for him it was a way of life. Starting with the way you think, and then it goes out into the way you speak, act, and engage. And so that's the work that we are doing at the King Center. It's very hard work and heart work, which means it takes much longer for people to get it. But I'm committed to caring for that part of his legacy.
What's up, everybody? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana, and I have a brief message. Listen, the health and safety of Gary residents is and always will be my highest priority. That's why the city of Gary, through the health department, along with code enforcement, the building department, and the fire department, has taken firm and swift action against several food establishments and grocery stores that violated some very important safety standards. These temporary closures are part of a coordinated effort to raise expectations and hold businesses accountable. But let me be clear, none of these establishments have been permanently closed, none of them. Our goal is to not shut down businesses, but to ensure they correct violations and meet the standards our residents deserve. In some cases, temporary closure has been the only effective enforcement tool after repeated warnings. Our residents deserve to trust the businesses serving their food. That's something that's extremely passionate to myself in this administration. We will no longer tolerate establishments that cut corners or compromise the public health of this community. Fresh, quality food and safe conditions are not optional. They are the standard. At the same time, we recognize that many of these establishments are vital shopping options for our residents in the great city of Gary, Indiana. That's why we're working hard every single day to ensure residents have access to food while these corrective actions are underway. The city has partnered with GPTC, our public transportation system, to coordinate transportation to other grocery options across the city for free for Gary residents. We've also joined forces with Dr. Ellen Zarletta of Indiana University Northwest for Center for Urban and Regional Excellence to study food deserts across Gary's 52 square miles and to develop a long-term solution to address this issue. That's something that we've been doing and working on for over a year. In addition, the city has funded the Gary Food Collective, led by LaJuan Clemens, which is already providing fresh foods and resources to residents throughout the entire city. Protecting public health is a shared responsibility. We encourage residents to report health violations to the Gary Health Department at 219-882-5565 or any building, fire, or code violations at 219-881-1400. The city of Gary will not stop holding businesses accountable, and we will work with them. I commend our hard staff working together collectively to protect the residents. With stronger oversight and enforcement, we're making sure every establishment in our city meets the standards and the safety of cleanliness and quality that our community rightfully deserves and expects. So as your mayor, I'm truly honored to come before you as we talk about some very critical issues. And this is something that's going to be a priority in years to come. Thank you.
City of Gary Redevelopment Commission meeting is now called to order for the month of November. Monday, November 3rd is a special meeting. Should I read this at this particular time or
No, it's on the agenda.
All right. Roll call, please.
School Board Representative Johnson. The record show he is not present at this time. Commissioner Wissington.
Present.
Commissioner Rogie.
I'm here.
Commissioner Dunham.
Present.
Commissioner Clemens. Let the record show that he is not present at this time. And President Stalling.
Present. Okay, we have a quorum. We will now move to item agenda number 3, the approval of today's agenda.
So moved.
It has been moved and properly seconded that we approve today's agenda. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Stalling.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion has it.
Good. Item agenda number 4 is the acceptance of the certification of a record of executive session. Certification of record of executive session, Gary Redevelopment Commission, on the date of the executive session was today, Monday, November 3rd. Time was 3:00 p.m. Location was here at the Hudson Campbell Boardroom, 455 Massachusetts, Gary, Indiana. The purpose of the executive session was the discussion of strategy with respect to a real property transaction pursuant to Indiana Code SSS 5-14-1.5-6.1 B, 2, and D. I hereby certify by statement in the memorandum and minutes of the Gary Redevelopment Commission that no subject matter was discussed in the executive session held immediately before the open public meeting, other than the subject matter specified in the public notice of the executive session, which was the discussion of strategy with respect to a real property transaction pursuant to Indiana Code SSS 5-14-1.5-6.1 B, 2, and D. The chair would entertain a motion for the acceptance of the certification of record of executive session.
I move to certify the executive session.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or discussion from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion is 4 ayes, pass.
We move on to agenda item number 5, the approval of today's former meeting minutes. The chair will entertain a motion for the approval of last meeting minutes.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve the acceptance of prior meeting minutes. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners? I have one quick comment from the last minutes. I know we talked about, and I don't know if this is the proper place, we talked about the side lot, and I wasn't at the meeting. So I realized that we did okay some side lots for individuals that were not here. And I thought we talked about, we would like for them to come here, but what I did hear in the meeting, it was part of the minutes, that Commissioner Wissington asked that they could at least give us some type of paperwork or something to say, hey, I did that, so we'll have a follow-up. So that was the only concern I had about the last meeting. Let the people that know that want the side lots, that we would need something in writing, or we really would like for them here. But if we can get something in writing saying that I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it, that should suffice. So we will set the precedent moving forward that people don't think they could just get a lot and that's it, you know. And so that's the only concern I had. Other than that, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 6 on today's agenda is the approval of claims. The chair will entertain a motion for the approval of claims.
I make a motion that we approve the claims.
And I'll second it.
It's been moved and properly second we accept the approval of the claims. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Item number 7 on today's agenda is public comments. Is there anyone present today for public comments on agenda item only? Looks like there's none. We will move on to agenda item number 8 on which is the presentation. Ms. Corey Sharp.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is really just a quick project update. We continue to make improvements over at the Railcat Stadium. Right now, we are seeking quotes for the roof maintenance. It's kind of routine maintenance, roof repairs at the Diamond Center. So expect proposals from different contractors at our later November meeting. Then the parking lot that is next to the Diamond Center is done. We funded that, and Reith Riley was the low bidder for that project, and so that project is done. And the Pulse Technology was a contract that you awarded for a new marquee. Mm-hmm. This is the smaller digital board. It is the demolition is done. The new board is here, and it was going to be installed last week, but it was too windy. So they are finishing this week, and that will be done. So it will definitely be done by our next meeting. And then last presentation, I made an update on the Miller parking lot. I spoke with our department peers, with the building department and stormwater. They would like us to go through the permitting process prior to starting construction on that. So we are doing that permitting process. That will push us into a spring construction rather than, squeezing it in here at the end of the season. That's all I've got for project updates. Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Any questions or comments from commissioners? All right, thank you.
We will now move on to item number 9 on today's agenda, new business, resolution number 7621. Director Harris, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, President Stallings. All right. So Resolution 7621, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the proposed budget for the Redevelopment Commission year for fiscal year 2026. So before you, each of you should have a 2026 TIF budget. Understand that last year legislation was passed that each redevelopment commission is responsible for developing its own budget associated with each TIF, and we have to report that into Gateway by December 1st. So want to run through each of the TIFs, understanding what our 2025 budget was, what our 2026 proposed budget will be, and if there are any questions, we'd love to introduce that after we discuss the 2026 budget for each of our TIFs. Be up for discussion and hopefully adoption, so we can be prepared to formally share that with the council and then get this information into Gateway by the December 1st deadline. So I'm going to start from the top. So the first budget, TIF budget, is the 25th and Grant County Market budget, which is Fund 4450. So again, to give context to this particular TIF, in the past, the assessed valuation of this TIF was never, what we found out is it actualized to never meet up to its obligation for the bond that was taken to develop this site. So we were in a negative. We would basically scrape whatever we received in increment from this TIF, and we would pay the bondholders accordingly. So you can see that's why in the past for 2025, that's why we had a net negative balance of $274,523.60. Now, moving on to 2026, it looks like the property was reassessed, and we're actually going to be more so in the black, which is positive because we like to see our city grow in assessed valuation. So moving forward for 2026, although our obligation is $741,915, we do have TIF revenue in for $764,216, along with our current fund balance of $382,108. So we'll have a net positive moving forward for 2026.
When you say we have 764,216.
That's projected.
Because of what? How do you have?
Yep, that's projected for 2026 for TIF revenue for that particular.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand that our commitment due dates are February 1st and August 8th.
Right.
And then our final payment for this particular TIF is February 1st, 2029.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
12% of creatures.
Yeah, and I believe this was taken out in 2004, 2005.
Or at least it's better than 07, 08.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Moving on, Fund 445-3, the Rolling Plains Truck City TIF. For those who are unfamiliar, the Truck City development is immediately west of County Market, and it's east of the Methodist Hospital Midlake. You'll see that on 25th Avenue. It was a development that we had supported around the same times when we developed the County Market site. This TIF actually no longer has any obligation. The balance of this TIF is the proposed year in balance for 2025 will be $717,707. The intention is that for moving on for 2026, that we're able to, we're going to have $272,980 in revenue from this TIF. This TIF expires technically on February 1st, 2029. And it's the intention to introduce capital outlay improvements in the surrounding area and what we actually determine as the economically distressed area adjacent to Black Oak. We intend to exhaust $250,000 in the future surrounding this site for infrastructure improvements in the general area.
Are we talking immediately south or north?
Immediately west.
West? Okay.
Immediately west.
Okay. Gotcha.
Moving on, unless there are any additional questions. Okay. Moving on to Fund 445-1, which is the Dalton Arms TIF. The Dalton Arms is the apartment building, the 8-story apartment building immediately across the street from the fire station. We invested in that in the 2010s. This is another example of TIF that's negative. The assessed valuation of that property didn't pan out to the original bond agreement. So we write a letter of insufficiency to the bondholders, and we just take everything out that we receive in increment and pay the bondholders accordingly. And for 2025, again, we have $104,175.24 negative. And in general, we would be in a net negative situation for 2026 as well for addressing the debt service.
One quick question, if I may.
Sure,
Yes, go ahead.
absolutely.
And this may be an ignorant question. For the areas in which we are positive, would it be possible to pay back, use that capital to pay off some of these bond agreements?
For like a bond agreement within that TIF?
Yeah. Well,
Like
say for instance, I'm looking at the rolling plans, right? So we're gonna allocate $250,000 to do capital improvements, right?
Mhm.
I agree with that. I'm just saying if there's ever an instance that we would be able to use what we would use for capital improvements to pay off another bond agreement for a separate TIF.
Well, for a separate TIF, not
Yeah.
not for another. So we can only do that for the TIF local. So we couldn't use the access
Up until the final payment is met, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So I was just curious, when I'm looking at some of these dates, once we reach that agreement time,
Mhm.
then we can allocate capital.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost like think about it as if the TIF, if the debt associated with the TIF is already paid in full.
Yep.
And then we have excess increment.
Yep.
Because the date of the TIF is like, let's say 5 years from
Mhm.
now. Then we have the ability to invest in other opportunities. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, my attorney.
I'm actually going to come up and say
yeah.
the TIF areas are, as we've broken out these funds, they are geographically
Yeah.
bound. So we can't use one geographic
Mhm.
area to pay for debt in another geographic area.
Gotcha.
That is not
So
possible.
when the date itself, so for instance, I'm looking at some of these, the dates for some of these TIFs.
Yeah.
After we reach that final set and date time,
When the bond may
Yeah.
expire prior to
Mhm.
the tax increment area.
Yeah.
So we continue to collect
Mhm.
revenue,
Okay.
even though the debt obligation has been paid.
Gotcha.
That revenue is still bound by its geographic
Mhm.
area.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we can invest for the rolling plains and in adjacent too, because if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I think
Yes, classified
It has to
distressed
be,
area.
yeah, so,
yeah.
each of the, in this statute, it talks about you can invest it directly adjacent to, so in Truck City, there's a stoplight that needs to be replaced.
Okay.
What's at the corner, it's directly adjacent to that economic development area.
Gotcha.
Now, TIFs are, when we create a TIF, we draw a boundary, and it is classified as an economic development area. In one of our TIFs, that boundary exceeds the area of the actual TIF debt obligation.
Gotcha.
So when Chris is saying, yes, we can spend it elsewhere, it's still within that economic development distressed
Mhm.
area. It's not it may not be on the property of where the bond was held, but it's still within that, when they declared the tax increment financing area. Yeah.
So then my final question would then be, looking at the geographic location of some of these TIFs, how long are we obligated to keep this footprint?
TIFs are economic development areas back in 2019 have an expiration date of 25 years.
Jesus.
So, and since that time, most bonds have been structured to be 25-year debt obligations to align with your maximum length of a economic development area.
Okay.
So, but we will have some of these areas rolling off.
Okay.
So when they roll off, they just roll into all of the taxing jurisdictions. So it no longer is isolated revenue that goes into the TIF fund. The county will then just automatically distribute that to the other taxing entities like a normal property would.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you so much for that.
Any other questions?
All right. Next, Fund 445-4, which is the Kirkyard Development Project. This was a project that we had developed a multimodal or intermodal facility for Canadian National. And the debt associated with this TIF primarily is accounted for. There's no scrape, I should say. We have excess funds in the Kirkyard project for the increment that it generates. But we have no additional obligations beyond what we had conducted for this project in the 2010s. So the fund balance for 2025, the adopted budget was $740,303.15. Moving forward for 2026, we intend to have a 2026 balance of $2,627,608.15. With that, again, that debt service being a consistent $884,125. And this final payment, this debt obligation goes on through February 15th, 2033. All right. Moving on to Fund 253-4. Which is U.S. Steel 2019A and 2019B. This was for a expansion capital improvement on the far eastern side of the U.S. Steel property back in the 2010s as well. Again, this is another TIF where, well, actually, I want to preface. So for the 2025 budget, we had a balance of $6,295,112.02. Moving forward for 2026, we're actually working with U.S. Steel. The self-assessment has actually put their debt, the balance of this TIF in a negative. So we've had conversations with U.S. Steel regarding the situation that the self-assessment has created a situation where the debt associated with it is not able to be covered. So we're actively working out that situation as we speak. They're well aware, but it's just some of the nuance that we will work with the state statute that allows U.S. Steel to be able to self-assess their own property.
Got it.
Question. Are there a lot of properties that do that self-assess, or is U.S. Steel unique?
So it's only for lakefront large industry, large industries. So for example, U.S. Steel, BP, Cleveland Cliffs, they all have that ability to be able to self-assess their own property. Just because there aren't many comps that you just have, there was concern that what our local assessors understand the value of their property without having the experience of understanding what the value is for, equipment, for the scale of the building. If you don't have a comp to be able to associate with, and how would the assessor know? So then state legislation was passed in the early 2000s that allowed for Lakeshore major industries here in Northwest Indiana to self-assess their own property. And then in this situation, we've notified U.S. Steel that we're in a situation where we have debt associated with this particular TIF that cannot fully be covered because of their self-assessment.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if they knew the value of Gary.
That's the whole
But I
thing.
digress.
The whole thing is the whole thing. Okay.
Moving forward through the empowerment zone, this was the 2006 special limited obligation for the Dusty's Kinney's Rib facility. We have had an agreement with the Gary Economic Development Corporation to pay a monthly debt of $142,519. Outside of that, the increment that we receive is roughly about $131,965.36. So again, it's also generally net negative obligation, but we are actively working with the Gary Economic Development Corporation regarding its current debt and other business that we have with the Gary Economic Development Corporation from past agreements that we've made with public-private partnerships with other entities.
So that's the Art House. That's the Art House.
Yeah, this is the Art House currently. Currently, it's referred to as the Art House.
Would it be possible to get just a single document that shows all the ones that are running net negative and that by that value?
Sure. Yeah, we can break that out.
I mean, I could do it, but I would just.
Okay. we could break that out.
Thank
you. Yeah. All right. The next fund is Fund 44-5, which is the consolidated TIF. Generally, that boundary is from 4th Avenue to roughly 27th Avenue, approximately from Malcolm X Drive to about Jefferson Street. Makes a rectangular shape here in the core of the city. The fund balance for 2025 was $2,997,551.03. Our proposed 2026 budget would be TIF revenue at roughly $2,020,854,000. And with that, we are prepared for professional services of $658,780. We have $500,000 proposed for land acquisitions within the consolidated TIF, and then $2 million for capital improvements. So with that $2 million, that includes our capital improvements for the U.S. Steel Yard baseball stadium, along with general infrastructure repairs and placemaking within the consolidated TIF corridor.
Okay. But there's a lot of money coming in.
The consolidated TIF is probably our most flexible TIF to use, considering it doesn't have much debt associated with it.
Right.
Moving on to our lakefront TIF. So our lakefront TIF is concentrated at Buffington Harbor. The 2025 budget end of year balance is projected to be $3,918,897. It's the intent moving forward for 2026. That budget would be significantly less, being that we're addressing some obligations that we've had in this TIF for a past public-private partnership with Carmoose. It's the intent that the overall budget, though the end of year balance would still be $2,047,710. But understand that we will have a small lapse of how much increment is generated in this TIF, because now that the Majestic Star casinos were no longer, they were really the primary generator of pumping revenue into this TIF. Now that we've relocated our casino license to 8094 and Hard Rock is in existence, we have a gap. We have a gap of really large entities being able to help contribute to that tax base, collecting increment in the lakefront TIF. Now, when we build, when we have FedEx complete, when we have Indiana Sugars complete, then that engine will kick back on with generating revenue for the lakefront TIF. But we will have a small lull and drop in revenue that we receive out of this TIF just because of the timeline of Majestic Star no longer being there, and that was really a primary source of income and increment for that particular TIF area.
I just have one quick question. You said we have debt obligations for this TIF. Would it be possible that we could have those listed here? Just because I see the revenue in the post year-end balance, but I don't see the obligations, the debt obligations on this one.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay.
Was that consolidated too?
No, this is the lakefront.
447.
Yeah.
There is no debt obligation.
Yeah. We're talking about revenues. How do we explain the balance, the difference between the balance between the lakefront for 2025 and 2026? That's why I was explaining.
Yeah. And public safety.
Oh, yeah. So we have business moving forward as well to talk about our public safety investments for the end of the year.
So there's more to come. Follow. Today. More detail. Okay.
It's another resolution.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I was wondering, because I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't see the line item in here.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Moving forward to the East Lakefront TIF, which is Fund 445-5. The East Lakefront TIF is primarily centered at Lake Street and Melton Road in the Miller community. It pretty much is the corridor near to County Line Road to the I-65 interchange. A relatively wide TIF that runs up to the Indiana Dunes National Park along Lake Street. The balance, the end of the year balance concerning the obligations that we have for the parking lot improvements is $52,423.21. We actually are projected in the East Lakefront TIF, which I'm excited about as well, that we're going to get a decent boost in revenue in the Lakefront TIF from our recent assessment from the Lake County Assessor. So our budgeted revenue for the Lakefront TIF, the East Lakefront TIF, will go from $90,167 to $618,940. So our improvements to the Miller Station, infrastructure improvements, all of that has an impact in growing our assessed valuation, and that's being reflected here in our East Lakefront TIF, which is exciting.
Any other questions? Did we finish them all?
Oh, we got one more page. Yep. Got it. So next is our Lancaster TIF, which is Fund 444-9. Our current balance is $59,905.55. We have completed our debt service for this TIF this year. Moving forward for 2026, we'll have a proposed year-end balance of $45,694.
Where is this? Which one?
Yeah, Lancaster is primarily where the old, this is on Malcolm X Drive and 21st Avenue. I forget the name of the apartment complex that used to exist there. It was demolished, and then we developed affordable housing at this corner near the former Good Corner.
Lancaster. That's the name of the apartment.
That's the name of the apartments now. Yep, Lancaster Apartments.
Okay.
The next is Fund 444-8. This is the Midwest TIF. The Midwest TIF is generally anchored by East 15th Avenue between I-65 to Martin Luther King Drive. The balance for this TIF is $1,722,540.69. We do have a $1 million capital improvement obligation working with NDOT to be able to expand 15th Avenue to wider lanes, more lighting infrastructure improvements, and with the intent of being able to make it an attractive area as an industrial park. Moving forward for 2026, we intend that after those expenses are conducted, we may have additional professional services and more capital investments in that general area to leave us with a balance of $421,150 in our 2026 proposal.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. Got it. Next, we have our redevelopment depository trust. This balance is what was $10,711.79. We rolled this balance into, I believe, our consolidated TIF.
No, this is a standalone. We don't know the
Okay.
allegations.
Yeah.
We're trying to find them.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's a phantom. The next, we have our non-reverting fund. We have a proposed year-end balance this year of $500,587.17. We've had $700,000 in professional services, $600,000 in capital improvements, and $300,000 in capital outlay, primarily demolitions. Moving forward for 2026, we hope to have more land sale revenue moving forward. That's part of our upcoming business. And then when it comes to professional services, just preparing ourselves for the additional needs that we have across the city. The non-reverting fund, remember, is the fund that we have to be able to do business across all areas of the city outside of a TIF. So when we're talking about Glen Park, when we're talking about opportunities near Hard Rock, because those are not in a TIF that we control or a TIF in general, we're planning for investments in those areas outside of TIF so we can help support redevelopment efforts.
And it's an important one that we can pay maintenance out of this account.
Yes.
Which we can't out of these other ones. Okay?
Exactly. And the support is needed from the city in general, so we can help keep the city looking clean.
Anything else for resolution? This resolution.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Director Harris. The chair will entertain a motion for the resolution number 7621.
So moved.
Second.
Has been moved and properly second. Are there any questions, comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
The 4 ayes, the motion passes.
Thank you, Director Harris, and your staff, because I know it takes time to put these things together, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We now move on to resolution number 7622, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing the award of contracts for appraisal services to 4 appraisal companies. Mr. Harris.
Thank you, President Stallings. So Resolution 7622, understand that in the beginning of the year, we had 2 appraisal companies that historically we used to work with as a commission. It was at that time the vision and the intent of the commission to find other appraisal companies that were maybe not as conservative. So what we've done is we've reached out to several appraisal entities here in the region to get us really back on track because it's essential for us to be able to have appraisals, for us to be able to dispose of property. I think we've experienced significant interest from whether it be local developers, whether it be independent developers, investors seeking opportunities to improve the city, but we've kind of been bottlenecked with not being able to respond to those requests because we need appraisal services procured by the Redevelopment Commission as opposed to entities procuring their own appraisals. So we do have a tranche of sites that we believe the candidates that we've interviewed are strong. So when we acquire appraisals for these properties that we believe that we'll have strong interest, viable interest to be able to get these properties sold and be able to recoup and closing costs, our initial appraisals, the costs that we invest in to be able to trigger an RFP to be developed. So the two entities, what we've done is we split the appraisals. We have two appraisal companies that will be appraising residential property and two appraisal entities that will be appraising commercial property. So the first entities that comes through the commercial properties that are going to be requested to be approved would be Valuation Services and Val Appraisal Group. Excuse me. So as you can see, their costs are relatively, comparable. And if you look, we have a list of sites that we'd like to have appraised for both purchase and for lease. So there are sites that we can have activated in the city that we own or the Redevelopment Commission owns. When I say we, City of Gary or the Redevelopment Commission. And then there are sites that we'd like to dispose for a redevelopment opportunity. So, for example, those sites would be 529 through 43 Washington Street. That would be the former Grit building. That would be for a lease opportunity. 401 Adams Street, which would be the Genesis Center site. The One City Plaza, which would be the Diamond Center. Then we have 1145 West 5th Avenue. That would be, if I'm not mistaken, that's the old health department facility. And then we have 813 through 59 Broadway, which is the former Sears building. So again, having an opportunity to really move forward with lease or purchase options so we can move forward on the business of the commission and redevelopment of the city. We would really like to get these appraisers back on board so we can begin to move property and enter contracts so we can generate more revenue for our department. I'd also like to add for the residential appraisers, South Shore appraisals, we received a recommendation from the Lake County Commissioners. So this is an entity that Lake County Commissioners trust. So I believe that would have value or merit to the commission as far as who's using these entities, where did they come from. This was a direct referral from the Lake County Commissioners.
Which one?
This is the South Shore appraisals.
Okay.
You have the other?
I'm actually looking for it now in the packet. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Got it.
So is it 3? Is it different?
So it's 4. So the last is 219 appraisal group.
Okay.
So we need action on these 4?
Yes.
are you looking to do the resolution as a whole here? With the, because each one of these appraisers have a certain group of properties that they would do. I mean, this is fine, but is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, that would be the intent, is to, in one resolution, approve all 4 appraisal entities.
I'll make it like this. I make a motion to approve resolution number 7622.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second for resolution number 7622. Any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, sir. Roll call.
Commissioner Whittington.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Stallman.
Absolutely, yes.
The motion passes before.
All right, we move on to resolution number 7623, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the proposed TIF budget amendment to provide for the public safety incentive. Ms. Sharp. Welcome.
Thank you. There's a couple items on this agenda item, or this topic, I should say. But essentially, what we would like to do is we would like to use our TIF revenues from the Truck City TIF, Midwest TIF, and Lakefront TIF. All of these funds have a balance significant enough to cover a public safety incentive for police and fire to go towards their operating expenses. Several years ago, the state statute for TIF expenditures, how we can distribute TIF funds, expanded to allow public safety operating and capital expenditures. So this is an opportunity for us to utilize these TIFs that have adequate balance to provide a year-end incentive to police and fire.
For the City of Gary.
For the City of Gary.
Okay, all right.
You say operations.
It's remarkable. We got the match from Hard Rock. I just saw the police and fire budgets. All the new equipment we're getting with parks. I mean, this is a great time. This is awesome. I love it. This is exactly where the money needs to go.
All right. With that, will you make the resolution?
Yeah. So,
go ahead. Chair will entertain a motion for resolution number 7623.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that we pass resolution number 7623. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
And President Stallman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, commissioners. We move on to resolution number 7624, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing the award of a contract for scaffolding to stabilize the structure located at 839 Broadway, which is the old Sears building. Director Harris.
Okay. President Stalling, resolution 7624. I want to share that before I'm asking for the commission to table this resolution, but I do want to have an opportunity to talk about it. We received we procured a structural engineering report from Frost Engineering. We passed that contract, I want to say in August, September, with the ability of evaluating the facade structure of the building. It was recommended that out of precautionary we're mitigating risk for the City of Gary and the Redevelopment Commission that we introduce maybe some scaffolding to be able to support or discourage people from walking on that side of Broadway until we can dispose of that building. The building over time, as you know, has not been generally maintained, so we want to be able to do some additional due diligence. We had some numbers come in today that we had some additional questions for those contractors that submitted proposals for scaffolding protection in front of 839 Broadway. So we're going to ask that we table this resolution, whether to a special meeting or our general meeting at the end of this month. But understand that we did receive proposals. We got one that was competitive, but we have a few questions to ask for before we make a recommendation to the commission for approval.
All right, thank you.
So just want to be able to share that and ask that that be tabled to be have a subsequent meeting.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to table resolution number 7624.
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moving properly second that we table resolution number 7624. There aren't any more questions. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We'll move on to resolution number 7625, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the transfer of funds between the capital improvements line item and contractual maintenance line item within the consolidated TIF. Ms.
Good
Billings.
evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
The redevelopment department is requesting approval to pay a few outstanding invoices in reference to an emergency demolition that was done at 2427-37 Broadway. We have outstanding invoices that we owe for 2 vendors. Lake County will be reimbursing us back the money, but the problem is they have to go through their process and their channels, and we would like to keep a strong relationship with these vendors because they're still doing work for the city. So we're asking if you guys would approve us to go ahead and pay that from the consolidated TIF, and then when the money is reimbursed, we'll just simply put it back into the consolidated TIF.
Is that in the amount of $128,000?
That's in the amount of 100, yes, sir. It's 2 vendors that we have to pay. Actually, it was 3. I was able to pay 1 because I had open PO with the remaining balance, but the 2 that's still outstanding is Sealy Construction and Total Disposal.
All right. Give people their money. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion for resolution number 7625.
So moved.
Second.
Has been moved and properly second that we pass resolution number 7625. If there aren't any questions or comments from Commissioner, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
All right.
Thank
Now,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you. We move on to resolution number 7626, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving an amendment to resolution number 2117 for the Lakefront Redevelopment Area TIF District Fund 445-7 allocations. Ms. Sharp.
This is a partner to your resolution that you approved, 7623. This resolution is basically a triplet. We remember when we approved the original resolution, it came from 3 different TIF funds, the Truck City, Midwest, and Lakefront. So the following, I'll make one presentation for all 3 resolutions. When we approve TIF areas, we have a declaratory resolution right up off the bat. And in that declaratory resolution, we say how we're going to spend the money. And since public safety is not listed in that declaratory resolution when the TIF was created, we are amending that to put that language into the declaratory resolution. And then you're also giving the staff and the consultant team the approval to facilitate that amendment process per the state statute, basically.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. The chair will entertain a motion for resolution number 7626.
So moved.
I'll second.
It has been moved and properly second that we pass resolution number 7626. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, Mr. CEO.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Resolution number 7627 is next. Yes, if you're going to be presenting. A resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving an amendment to Resolution 908 for Small Farms Urban Renewal Area, which is Truck City TIF, District Fund 445-3 allocations.
Yeah, so this is the same thing where you are amending the language in the declaratory resolution stating that we can use these TIF funds for public safety.
All right, thank you. Chair will entertain a motion for resolution number 7627. Is that 7627?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Roby?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
And President Stone?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Now we move to resolution number 7628, a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving an amendment to resolution 2465 for the Midwest Center for Industry Redevelopment TIF District Fund 44-8 allocation.
And this is your final triplet. So this is the same deal where we're amending the declaratory resolution to be able to spend public safety dollars with TIF revenue.
Thank you. Chair will entertain a motion for the passage of resolution number 7628.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. If there aren't any questions or comments from commissioners, roll call, please, Mr. Celio.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Roby?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
And President Stone?
Yes. Thank you. We move on to agenda item number 10, which is other business. Director Harris or staff, do we have any other business for today's meeting?
This is enough.
All right. Director's comments, you have any comments or you want to save them for the next meeting?
All right, thank you, President Stallings.
All right.
I'll be brief. I just wanted to make sure that the public was aware that we're supporting a community forum held by Councilman Tolliver at Market Park Pavilion Wednesday, November 12th at 5 p.m. Again, at Marquette Park Pavilion. I'll be joined by Latanya Spearman, Lake County Assessor, and Jacqueline Collins, Calumet Township Assessor. We'll be talking about assessing properties and taxes. Also, I'm pretty excited to be able to share an illustration. I was able to pull data from the county assessor's office to be able to see our tax value per acre across the city. And I think it tells a very telling story and just how we need to help grow our tax base. So definitely encourage the public to come out again Wednesday, November 12th at 5 p.m. at Marquette Park Pavilion. Outside of that, just very excited about all of the action that you see in the community, all of the energy. We're all working as a team to be able to move as a collective to show that we're moving forward. We're keeping that momentum of economic development and growth in the city. Working with our demolition teams and be able to streamline communication so we can be able to move forward in our visible corridors to show progress. Senate Bill 434 is going to be moving forward in a big way in the first quarter of 26. So you'll see more structures come down. You'll be able to see more blight removal. So just very positive about that. And just want to make sure that the public was encouraged and that we're moving in the right direction. So appreciate it. That ends my comment.
Thank you. Commissioner comments, Mr. Whittington?
Job well done. Really job well done. I love the direction we're going with the city. I appreciate all your hard work. And also just where the administration is taking things, I'm a huge fan of investing in public safety. So I just want to say congratulations again. I appreciate all your hard work. Thank you.
Mr. Roby?
I'm okay.
All right, brilliant.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Ken.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Yes, sir. Happy birthday, Commissioner Whittington. I just want to say, as usual, thank you all for the hard work that you do. Director Harris and Sharp and Ms. Walton and Steve and Attorney Tober back there. We appreciate all your services. And I just like the fact that the redevelopment is really moving in a positive manner, and the city council is, and the mayor. That's always a good thing to see when both of them work together. You might bump heads here and there, but when they work together, you can really see the progress in the city. I talked to a lot of people that's in the city, and they are really, really excited about what's happening. They love to see buildings coming down. They see new stuff going up. This is just an exciting time for Gary because I've been in here for a long time, and I know I haven't seen anything of this magnitude in the last 10 to 15 years. So we're excited about that. And with that being said, the chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I make the motion.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you.